So, first is, your crimes against chastity is provided by the Title 11 of your revised penal code. Okay? First, we have Article 333. Yung Article 333, it provides for the persons who are guilty of adultery. Ano nga ba ang adultery? Bago tayo punta dun sa mga taong guilty, punta muna tayo kung ano ba ang isang adultery. Adultery is committed by the wife who shall have sexual intercourse with a man who is not her husband, and of the man knowing that she is married. Okay, its essence is sexual intercourse. Kailangan meron silang sexual relationship. There will be as many counts of adultery as there are sexual acts like that in rape. Okay, example, Maria and Pedro are husband and wife. Okay, Maria and Pedro being a wife and husband to each other. Maria, kung si Maria ang infidel spouse, can commit the crime of adultery. Kung si Pedro ang may kabit, siya ang merong hindi adultery, kundi concubinage. Si Maria, kung ang kabit niya ay si Juan, walang asawa si Juan, Juan is likewise liable for adultery. Okay? Kung si Pedro, meron siyang kabit, si Barbara. Si Barbara ay married also. Si Juan, single. Dapat meron kayong mga papel dyan para na iisip na. Si Maria, Pedro, mag-asawa. Si Maria, may kabit siya, si Juan. Si Juan, walang asawa. Si Pedro, may kabit din siya, si Barbara. Si Barbara ay may asawa. Ang asawa niya ay si Roberto. Okay? So, what are the crimes liable or the liabilities in this case? Let's just say they all committed the act of sexual congress. Si Maria, bilang may asawa, liable for adultery. Ang kabit niya will likewise be liable for adultery. Paano yun, ma'am? Si Juan, single. Okay? Since single si Juan, adultery lang ang liability niya. Paano kung ngayon naman, ma'am, si Pedro? Si Pedro, ma'am, kasal siya kay Maria. Pero meron din siyang kabit. Let's just say, assuming naman, punta naman tayo sa case na walang kabit si Maria. Kung si Pedro may asawa, siya na ang may kabit, that is concubinage. Pero kung ang kabit niya ay may asawa din, let's just say si Barbara, the liability of Barbara is adultery. Okay? Ma'am, paano kung sa situation, si Maria, yung kabit niya si Juan, hindi siya single, kundi may asawa rin siya. What is the crime committed? Hindi lang adultery, kundi it's already a concubinage. Okay? I hope na meron kayong sinulat na meron kayong graph. Okay. So, adultery, katulad sa rape, walang frustrated. Wala pang frustrated rape, wala pang frustrated adultery. Okay? There's no frustrated stage in rape and adultery. It can only be committed through attempted and consummated because carnal knowledge is the essence. Ma'am, paano kung yung asawa, si Maria, hindi lalaki ang pinag-sexual intercourse niya, kundi another kapwa niya babae? Let's just say si Barbara. Okay. Paano kung si Maria nakipag-sex siya sa isang babae pa, si Barbara? Okay, mag-a-apply po ba ang Article 333? The answer there is no. Okay? Because in your Article 333, it expressly provides that, okay, it only mention of sexual intercourse with a man. Okay? With a man, not her husband. Okay? Hindi nakalagay dyan with a person, not her spouse. Kung ganon, of course, Article 333 will apply. But if not, then it's, okay, then otherwise. Next. Paano naman ang concubinage, ma'am? Tapos na tayo sa adultery. Punta tayo sa concubinage. Concubinage, ito yung liability naman nito is lalaki. Okay, lalaki naman to. Ang adultery, pwedeng babae, pwedeng lalaki. Pag babae, single, married. Okay? Pag lalaki, single. Okay? Pero pag sa concubinage, married yung lalaki. Here, keeping a mistress in the conjugal dwelling. Pag, okay, example, si Pedro, di ba asawa niya si Maria? Pag pinatira ni Pedro si Barbara sa bahay nila ni Maria, that is concubinage. Kahit hindi sila nagsisex, ma'am, yes. As long as pinatira niya, keeping a mistress without sexual congress, that is already concubinage. Ma'am, paano kung nagsisex sila pero hindi sa bahay nila? Pwede also. Having a sexual intercourse under scandalous circumstance. That is your number 2. I hope you are following our notes. Number 3 is by cohabiting with her in any other place. Dito sa number 1, sorry. Okay. Doon sa number 1, dito sa number 1, sa bahay nila ng kanyang asawa, pinatira niya yung kabit. May sex man sila, sexual activity man or wala. Sa number 2, meron silang sexual activity, okay, in a very scandalous circumstance. And number 3, meron silang sariling nest. Okay, meron silang sariling pinag-i-stayan. Okay? And always remember that concubinage can only be committed by a married man. Kung hindi siya married man, walang concubinage. Because one of the elements in concubinage is the man must be married. Okay? Kung ang kabit ay isang lalaki pero hindi married, that is adultery only. Pero kung kabit, ang offender is a married person, and that person is a man, that is concubinage. The next one. Acts of lasciviousness. Sakit ito ng mga lilibog. Okay? Sino ang malibog? Your Article 336. Acts of lasciviousness. Okay? In your Article 336. Okay? I will skip first Article 335. Ang Article 335 kasi is it is repealed by RA 8353, your anti-rape law. Mamaya, di-discuss din natin. Yung Article 336, sakit to ng mga malilibog, mga taong malilibog. Okay, Article 336, acts of lasciviousness. In here, the offender commits any act of lasciviousness or lewdness. Number 2 element is the act of lasciviousness is committed against a person of either sex. So, pwedeng yung malibog ay lalaki, tapos ang trip niya ay lalaki also, or babae, trip niya ay babae also. Okay? Or the opposite sex. Kahit ano. Okay? So, it is done any of the following circumstances. Okay? Like the same with the circumstance in rape, like your force or intimidation, deprivation of reason or unconsciousness, and when the offended party is below 12 years old of age or demented. Lagi niyong tandaan, other than the rape, your acts of lasciviousness is the only crime that can be committed against a male under crimes against chastity. Okay? Your acts of lasciviousness is the only crime against chastity which can be committed against male victims. Crimes against chastity are exclusively committed against female victims, like in your Article 245. Okay? Lagi niyong tandaan. Lagi niyong tandaan, only when the victim of an illegal or immoral act is a minor that the law comes in and bars minor from doing so because they are presumed incapacitated from giving consent. Lagi niyong tandaan na kahit pumayag yung syota nyo na makipag-do sa inyo at fininger mo siya, okay, you can be prosecuted for rape or acts of lasciviousness kung minor yan. Okay? We will discuss later on your anti-rape law. You will know the so-called statutory rape. Okay. Pero, of course, meron tayong sweetheart contract kasi. Okay, ano yung sweetheart clause? Mayan, madidiscuss din later on yun. Pwede yun maging defense. Okay? In your acts of lasciviousness, dapat walang carnal knowledge. Ang carnal knowledge is other term for sex. Okay? Sexual intercourse, sexual congress, carnal knowledge, sex. They all the same. They all mean the same. Pare-pareho lang yan. Sa article 339, okay, is acts of lasciviousness with consent of offended party. Ano yan? Yung seduction. Okay? Pero, i-discuss din natin later on kung ano bang pinagkaiba nila. Ano ba yung article 339, ma'am? Para maka-move on kami. Ang article 339 is your acts of lasciviousness with consent of the offended party. Pwede ka palang makasuhan ng acts of lasciviousness kahit pumayag yung offended party. Yes. Ito. When the acts committed upon a person, pag virgin, pag single, pag isang widow of good reputation, or a person who is 18 years old below, pero more than 12 years old, a sister or a descendant regardless of her reputation or age. And of course, you use your authority or your confidence or your relationship. Lagi niyong tandaan na sa Article 339, hindi yan pwedeng makomit ng babae. Because male cannot be the hindi yan against male. Because male cannot be offended party in this crime, yung Article 339. Okay. So, sa Article 336 nyo, ito yung acts of lasciviousness without consent yan. Yung acts of lasciviousness with consent, yung Article 339, ang pinagkaiba nila ganito. Yung 336, ang victim dyan, babae o lalaki. Pwede. Pero yung with consent, dapat ang victim lang dyan is babae. Sa 336, okay, of course, that is without consent. Sa 339, with consent. Pero, on some circumstance. Sa Article 336, hindi kailangang more than 12 years old or less than 18. Pero sa Article 339, kailangan. Sa Article 339, kailangan ding virgin or widow or single of person of good reputation. Pero sa Article 336, hindi kailangan. Next, punta tayo sa seduction. Seduction or ang panlalande. Okay. Punta tayo sa Article 337. Your Article 337 provides for qualified seduction while your Article 338, this one, is your only simple seduction. Mas mabigat yung qualified seduction. Okay? What is qualified seduction? In your qualified seduction, first is, ano nga ba ang seduction, ma'am? Or you're seducing. Okay? Seduction is the act of enticing a woman to unlawful sexual intercourse by promise of marriage or other means of persuasion without use of force. Okay? So, meron po tayong dalawang klase ng qualified seduction. Number 1 is the seduction of a virgin, okay, which is 12 years old to 17 years old only. Okay? Dapat minor. Can be qualified seduction. That's the first class. How about the second class? That is your seduction of a sister by her brother, so magkapatid, or a descendant by her ascendant, regardless of her age or reputation. So, ang qualified seduction can be committed ng example, si Maria, yung uncle niya, yung lolo niya, okay? Pwede. Okay? O kaya yung kapatid ni Maria, example, si Pedro, okay? Can be tried under Article 337. So, what are the elements of qualified seduction? There are 4. Here, the victim must be a virgin, okay, which is presumed if she is unmarried and of good reputation. Ito, lagi niyong tandaan. Ang concept ng virgin under the law is hindi yung hindi ka pa nakipag-sex. Hindi. The concept of virgin under the law is presumed. Presumed kang virgin if single ka or hindi ka pa naikasal at hindi sira ang pangalan mo or you have a good reputation. Okay? Another element is you must be over 12 years old and under 18 years old. So, 12 to 17 years old ka lang dapat. Number 3, the offender has sexual intercourse with her. And number 4, there is an abuse of authority, confidence, or relationship on the part of the offender. Okay? Ano naman ang simple seduction under Article 338? Your simple seduction under Article 338, simple lang to. Okay? The victim here is single or a widow of good reputation. And she must be 12 years old and under 18 years of age. The offender here had sexual intercourse with her and it is committed by means of deceit. Ano pinagkaiba nila? The last element. Ito kasi by means of deceit. Yung qualified seduction, it is through abuse of authority, confidence, and relation. Okay? That is one of the difference. Okay? Sa simple seduction kasi, the woman is single o widow. Pero sa qualified seduction, you are a virgin. Okay? Sa simple seduction, kahit sino pwedeng maging offender. Any person. Pero sa qualified seduction, it is a person with authority, okay, a teacher, a person entrusted with custody, guardian, mga ganyan. Sa simple seduction, the victim is always over 12 years old but under 18 years old. Sa qualified seduction, the victim ay pwedeng more than 18 years old. Her age and reputation is not material. Okay? We go to Article 340. Wrong spelling na naman to, corruption of minors. Corruption of minors and Article 340, 341. Para isabay ko nang explain. Your Article 340 provides for your corruption of minors, and your Article 341 provides for your white slave trade. Ano yung white slave trade? Ang white slave trade is an act of engaging in business of prostitution. Okay? Yung prostitute here did not be minors. Sa Article 341, hindi kailangan minor yung prosti. If they are victims of trafficking, then the crime would be trafficking in person, hindi white slave trade. Okay? Paano naman ang corruption of minors, ma'am? Ang corruption of minors sa Article 340 is committed only if yung victim is a minor. Okay? At yung minor dapat is used to satisfy the lust, libog ng isang tao, ibang tao. Hindi dapat yung corruptor mismo. Kasi yung corruptor, siya ang bugaw. Okay, that is your bugaw, your Article 340. Okay? Next, we go with Article 342 and 343, your abduction. Kanina is your seduction, now we go your abduction. Ang abduction, kinuha mo yung, para siyang kidnapping. Pero, may, siya, crush mo ba siya? Parang ganon. Pero, I will give you the concept. In your Article 342, it provides for your forcible abduction, while your 343 is your consented abduction. Of course, from the word itself, consented, you have consent. You consented the person. Okay? Ano nga ba ang abduction, ma'am? Your abduction, these are the elements. Number 1, the person abducted is any woman. So, babae dapat Ang abduction, para lang yan sa mga babae. Okay? Parang sa seduction. Sa abduction, forcible abduction. Forcible. So, pinilit mo, force. A person abducted is any woman regardless of her age, civil status, or reputation. The abduction is against her will, and the abduction is with lewd design. Ano nga bang sinatawag nating lewd design? Lewd design is defined as obscene, lustful, indecent, lascivious, and lecherous. Lewd. Anong spelling ng lewd? L-E-W-D. Wala pala dito. L-E-W-D. Lewd designs. Dapat meron siyang lustful idea. Okay? Gusto niyang isex yung babae. Gusto niyang hawakan yung suso niya, katawan niya. Okay? O kung ano pang imagination ang pwede niyang gustong gawin. Basta lustful siya. Okay? Lagi niyong tandaan na ang forcible abduction is punishable by reclusion temporal. Pero ang rape, syempre mas malala ang rape, reclusion perpetua. Okay, although alam naman natin na wala nang death, so reclusion perpetua. Next. Paano kung inabduct ko yung babae? Si Pedro, inabduct niya si Maria. May lewd design siya, babae si Maria. Tapos, yun. Kompleto yung elements ng abduction, forcible abduction. Pero, gusto niya palang i-rape si Maria. So, ang main objective ni Pedro is i-rape si Maria. What is the crime committed? The crime committed is rape. Okay? The forcible abduction is absorbed in the crime of rape if the main objective of the accused is to rape the victim. Okay? Paano naman ang consented rape, ang consented abduction, ma'am? Ang consented abduction, ang difference kasi nito is yung consent at saka yung circumstance of disturbance. Okay? In consented abduction, the gravamen is the alarm and disturbance to the parents and the family of the victim. Okay? So by implication, ang na-violate mo talaga ng karapatan dito is hindi yung babae na sumama sa'yo, kasi nga with consent yon, but it is the family of that person. Okay? You cause an alarm, a disturbance to the family of that person. Sa consented abduction, disturbance and alarm is the gravamen. Pero sa seduction, the gravamen is the wrongdoing to the woman. Next one. So, in your article 344 and 345, this provides, okay, your liability in case you committed the crime of adultery, concubinage, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. Kung mapo-prosecute ka sa mga crimes na to, you will also be liable for this one. You'll be liable for indemnification, for acknowledgement of the offspring kung sakaling nabuntis mo, yung ni-rape mo, o kaya yung, yun. And you have to support your offspring. Okay? So, that ends our discussion for crimes against chastity.